Today's the day the Galaxy Note 10 and Note 10 Plus have hit the shelves, and you might be asking yourself, should I buy one of these things? Let's discuss. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. Right now, I'm going through Thomas Frank's Productivity Masterclass, Create a Custom System That Works. If you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know that I went full-time not long ago, and I've really been struggling to find a good way to keep myself organized now that I don't have to go to a day job. Premium Skillshare memberships give you unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you. As a special offer to Painfully Honest Tech viewers, Skillshare is giving away 2 free months of unlimited access. Just click the link in the description below to get 2 free months of Skillshare, and then after that, it's only about $10 a month to continue your learning. Hey there, friends on YouTube. My name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. If this is your first time here and you want to come on back again, you know, you can like and subscribe. You get more tech videos and all that kind of stuff. Hit the bell notification icon and share if you like. And if you've been here before, thank you so much again for supporting the channel. The Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus were unveiled at the Unpacked event in Brooklyn a couple of weeks ago, and since then, really before then, the internet has been abuzz with rumors, some exciting, some disturbing, but now we finally reached the moment when you can go out and get your hands on one of these things. Some folks have already pre-ordered and received their phones, thus sealing their fates. But some of you might still be wondering if the Note 10, and from here on out, I'm going to say Note 10 and sort of be referring to both phones, but I'll differentiate when necessary, okay? Whether or not the Note 10 is worth getting yourself into a hefty monthly payment for the next couple of years. So, I'm going to go through 3 reasons why you should consider buying the phone and 3 reasons why you should not. Okay? Let's get started, and we'll start positive with the pros first. And I'm just going to say the hardware. The Note 10 looks and feels like the future, at least for the next couple of months. And that's always a good feeling. The screen is one of, if not the best screens you can get. It has the high resolution we've come to expect from Samsung, and at 6.8 inches, I mean, this thing is huge. The only blemish on this screen is the hole punch that I've hidden so cleverly in the Joker's camera with this wallpaper. And while Samsung did make it smaller than it was on the S10 phones, it's still there, and other manufacturers have found ways to eliminate that. So these interruptions on the screen are frustrating. The Note 10, however, is only rocking a 1080p screen, and while the visible difference may be negligible, the downgrade seems very un-Note-like and makes that version of the phone already less desirable. Elsewhere, the glass and metal sandwich design is here, but the Note line has recently become more squared off. I like this design a lot better than the S line, personally. I know this is still hardware, but the S Pen is special enough to deserve its own mention. Since the very beginning, the S Pen has been what makes the Note series special, and every year it gets better and more feature-rich. This year, Samsung introduced gesture navigation, which I have not mastered and probably won't, but what is a big deal to me are new features like handwriting to text and the ability to move your notes around to other note-taking places. I've always loved note-taking on the Note phones, but the fact that it was hard to convert the handwritten notes to text and even harder to move the notes to Evernote or something like that always sort of bothered me. Because of what I do, I obviously don't use the Note exclusively all year, so I need to have those notes be transportable, and so now that's a possibility. There's been a good bit of discussion this year about whether the Note line should even exist anymore when the S line has caught up to it in size and features. The only thing the S line doesn't have is the S Pen. And if you're a note taker like me, that alone is reason enough to buy a Note. The third thing that is sort of aspirational, and we don't really know how well it's going to work yet, that I want to talk about in the pro category, integration with Windows and the Microsoft ecosystem. This is one of those features that I'm excited about, but it's still a little bit of a wait and see kind of thing. The promise of this partnership between Microsoft and Samsung is the possibility of getting closer to mirroring the integration functionality that iPhone users have enjoyed for many, many years with other Apple products. If the phone works well with Windows, it's easy to use. If it works seamlessly, there's a ton of potential here. As of this moment, I haven't really been able to spend any time with it, but I can see just from the demonstrations that it's a differentiating factor that Samsung would have over other Android OEMs if it does in fact work the way it could. There are, of course, a lot of great features the Note 10 offers. The Note 10 Plus has even more great features, but these are the three I came up with from my limited experience here, having the phone for a day or so, and they're the ones that I think might be persuasive to those of you out there thinking about buying it. So what about the negative? This wouldn't be Painfully Honest Tech if there weren't some negatives, so here they are. Number one, losing features. I'll start with this because it's the most obvious downside to this year's Note compared to last year's Note and all the years past. In years past, the Note line has always been the showcase phone for Samsung, offering a glimpse of some of the latest and greatest features Sammy has to offer, but this year, it seems most of the glory fell to the S10 line, and that's taken some of the shine off the Apple this year. The Note 10 in particular is decidedly less of a phone than the Note 10 Plus and the Note 9 before. It has a smaller battery. It has a lower resolution screen. It doesn't support SD cards the way that the bigger phone does. It has less RAM than the big phone. It has fewer camera lenses compared to the bigger phone. And for me, that makes it a decidedly less compelling buy at $949 to begin. I think Samsung's banking on the Note 10, or the Note 10 Lite as I like to think of it, as being the Note for everyone, but I don't really know that a smaller, gimped version of the Note is going to be all that compelling for anyone, especially at that price. The full-fat Note 9 started at $50 more than the Note 10 last year, and that phone is decidedly less expensive now than either of these phones are, and would be a much better buy compared to the smaller of the Note 10s because of that. So the Note 10 is less of a phone in a lot of ways, but both phones lose a key feature this year, the headphone jack. I know a lot of people don't care, but I do, so I'm going to talk about it. Samsung was one of the last phone manufacturers to proudly keep the headphone jack, but now they've capitulated for reasons that are unclear. Lack of any real improvement. Yes, the camera got a new lens. The Note 10 Plus got a depth sensing camera, and there are new software features in the camera like night mode. All of these things are great, but they're there mainly to keep up with other manufacturers who already have a lot of these features. Yes, we've upgraded to faster UFS 3 storage, and the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus have 8 and 12 gigabytes of RAM respectively. Yes, the base storage is 256 gigabytes, but the Note 10 lacks that micro SD storage that I talked about before. Its screen is only 1080p. Its battery is considerably smaller. Oh, and did I mention they got rid of the headphone jack? There are improvements in these phones, but none of them are reasons to buy the Note 10 or Note 10 Plus if you already have a Note 9 or an S10. If you've been waiting for the new Note, this might be the year where you decide to save $500 and go grab the Note 9 instead. It's still an amazing phone, and the Note 10 doesn't really do a whole lot to make the Note 9 obsolete. In fact, that brings me to number 3 in this list, the price. There are really no reasons anyone should buy a Note 10 over the Note 10 Plus unless a smaller size and the price mean that much to you, but at $949, the Note 10 is hundreds of dollars more expensive than the S10 line of phones, and most of them make zero compromises compared to the Note 10. The Note 10 Plus is an easier sell, maybe. It's really the Note we've come to expect from Samsung year in and year out, and this year, it starts at $1,099. $1,100, $100 more than the Note 9 last year. I've complained about the $1,000 phone as often as anyone else, and it's crazy that we've gotten here, but we have. To me, that's all the more reason to really think about how much you need this year's phone when there are options that are really just as good for a lot less money. For many of you, the answer might be not enough to put myself on the hook for $1,100. Others might say, I gotta have the latest and greatest, and so that it's gonna be the Note 10 Plus for me. So there it is. 3 reasons to consider buying one of these phones and 3 reasons to pass. I'm putting mine through its paces. Look for a review sometime soon, probably on Monday after I've used it for a few days. In the meantime, let me know what you think of the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus down in the comments below. Once again, thanks so much for being here. If it was your first time and you want to come back again for more scintillating Note 10 coverage and other stuff like that, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, share this out with your nearest and dearest, and please come back and see me again soon. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back again. And if you want to find out what I'm offering in the membership packages down below, please click that to find out and maybe join me on a wonderful journey through the backside of Painfully Honest Tech. Anyway, once again, my name is Jason. This is Painfully Honest Tech. Tech so honest it hurts. Until the next time, I am out.